What's up, guys? This is Gnarly Charlie. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of update on some of the more recent cassettes and albums I've gotten. Uh, so these are stuff that I've gotten in the mail recently that I haven't really made a video on what I've recently gotten in a while, so I figured I'd do that. And because some of these cassettes that I've gotten are already past the point of where we're at on my cassette update, so it's kind of pointless to go back and show those off. You've already seen it, all of them already, except for these new ones. But anyway, right now we're listening to Vlad Tepes, War Funeral March. This recently came out, I believe, on Nuclear War Now. I'm not 100%, but it got reissued, and definitely a good copy. I don't know if they still have any of these, probably not, because Vlad Tepes, but if they do, definitely pick yourself up a copy or look on Discogs for one, because it's definitely worth it if you're into satanic war black metal. But yeah, give them a listen. First off, we have some Relapse Records releases that I ended up getting. I think in the last video I showed off the new Yob album, Our All Heart. This is probably one of the better Yob albums I've listened to. So if you haven't checked this out yet, definitely give it a listen, because it's very you feel the emotions in it. You feel really kind of connected to it. So at least I do. But definitely check that out. And then I've also got the new Gruesome album, Twisted Prayers. I haven't given this a listen yet, but I'm also a purist when it comes to listening to albums in chronological order sometimes. And Gruesome is one of those bands. And I missed out on their last EP that came out, I think, last year. And I haven't been able to find a copy of it yet. I'm going to try and get one on Discogs, or see if my local record store has one. But if not, I might just go ahead and listen to it anyway, because Gruesome kicks ass. They're kind of like the new version of Death. If you're a big fan of Death, definitely check them out. But you can definitely hear that Death influence in there, and a lot of early death metal from the Florida death metal scene, and like I said, really good. Next, I've got the Hyrax demo. I believe it's the very first demo they ever released. This got reissued through Headsplit Records. Pretty basic. Same 4 songs on. Let me just drop that. Same 4 songs on each side. And got a sweet little J card in there of old pictures of the band when they first started. Just kind of chilling out in the Bay Area. Really cool. I like it. I've listened to it a couple different times, and it's really good. I understand why they got signed so quickly after, releasing this, because it's really kick-ass. Also, with the Headsplit release, I also got this really cool poster. My buddy wanted me to show it off because it's kind of kick-ass. It's basically advertising the couple of new Necrodrunk albums. Looks like they've got a split coming out with Deboned. They're going to be coming out with a new long sleeve shirt and another full-length album. But I believe they've already came out with it. But I still thought it was pretty funny that they came out with this. And I sent a picture of it to my buddy, and he was like, "Oh my God, you gotta put that in a video." And I'm like, "All right, but why not?" But Necrodrunks is a pretty cool band. They're slowly becoming one of my favorite grindcore bands, so definitely give them a listen. Next, we have another haul from the Nuclear War Now site. the Blasphemy, Victory, Son of the Damned. I haven't given this a listen yet. It's still actually in the Shrine Wrap. But I've listened to the other Blasphemy album that I've gotten from them. But really excited to kind of hear what this one sounds like. I'm not a huge Blasphemy fan per se, but I've heard one album and it's really good, and I would love to hear more. So actually, if you have any Blasphemy album recommendations, hit me up, because like you probably already know, I love hearing new music. Next we have Live Ritual, Friday the 13th. I have actually listened to this. This is the one I was talking about. Really good. Definitely becoming slowly one of my one of those favorite bands that I kind of like to listen to now. I mean, it's kind of one of those things that, like, once you finally hear a band, you kind of want to hear more. So it's not like something I'm obsessing over and oh my god, I'm gonna hear every single Blasphemy song ever. But I'm sure, like I said, if you give me some recommendations, I will probably become that rabid fan. But hit me up. Next we have I've never actually listened to these guys before, but I've heard their name quite a lot. And I guess they come out with a whole lot of releases because I'm constantly seeing something new by these guys. But Sabat, Alivium in Germany, 1997. Looks pretty cool. Like I said, I've never really listened to these guys, but really interesting name for a band. And like I said, I've seen them quite a lot, on Nuclear War Now and Palace Headbangers, a bunch of different places, and I can't really find it to myself to actually buy any of their stuff. But I saw this on Nuclear War Now, and I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I'm experiencing Blasphemy for probably the first time, really, aside from that one album. So might as well actually, try and hit two different bands out for, at once. Also, I have this is the last release from Nuclear War Now that I've got. It's Sabat and Pagan Fire with Sabbatical Verminborn, the Witchhammer of the Power Elitist. Like I said, I haven't listened to it yet, but I figured I'd give it a shot. And I've also never believe I've ever heard of Pagan Fire. They seemed, if I had, it's not something that I've really stood out and really was like, wow, this band's awesome, I want to hear more. But if you know anything about Pagan Fire or Sabat or Blasphemy, I guess, and you want me to try and look up some of their particular stuff, please let me know, and I will do so, because like I said, me gusta good music. So there we go. Alright, next, instead of kind of breaking these up, because it's all just one vinyl record after the other that I individually ordered from different companies, I will just show them off. But we have Mist with their latest album, Free Me From the Sun. If you are a fan of doom metal, particularly female-fronted doom metal, then this will definitely be up your alley. I've listened to it a couple different times, and it is really good. I'm really digging it. I ended up buying their demo and their EP when they first came out, and both of them are really good. Not a bad song on any of their albums, and I'm really excited to kind of see them flourish into actually making their first full-length album. I'm probably going to do a review of this at some point, and definitely give these guys a shot. They, like I said, they've got a demo and an EP, and then this full-length album that they just released, I believe, a week or two ago. So definitely check them out. I will leave a link in there in the description too, so you can get your own copy or just listen to it. Next, $20 Spin finally released the Torture Rack album. I love the cassette so much that I ended up having to get it. Nothing really special, black vinyl, but I don't know exactly what you'd really call this. I believe it's like they call it like workout metal or something like that. But they've got some kind of weird name of it because like every single member of the band, or maybe it's just the one guy that like really goes to the gym like constantly, so they kind of make fun of him for it. I don't know, but if you're into death metal, like really brutal death metal, and I'm not talking about slam, I'm like actually talking about people getting cut up and dismembered in their death metal, definitely give them a listen, because it's probably one of my favorite death metal albums of the year so far. I think I mentioned that in my last video of the my top 7, I believe it was, albums of the year so far. So definitely check those guys out. They are, I think they still have an album out, that same album on Head Split. So jump over there and see if you can get a copy if you're into it. Next, we have the Iron Reagan and Gatekeeper split. This was from, I believe, Relapse Records. Yeah, and it's actually pretty decent. I'm not a huge Iron Reagan fan. I've only heard like a couple of their split albums, one of which had Ronald Reagan, kind of like spitting something up. I can't remember exactly what it was, but definitely a good thrash album if you're into it. I don't know too much about Gatekeeper, so I can't really say too much on them, but I was impressed by the split they did. So if you give this thing a chance, good job, because it's definitely kick-ass. Anyway, that is my kind of more recent update on stuff I've just recently got. So if you enjoy it, check some of the stuff out. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Like and subscribe. And share the fuck out of this video, because I think since my 50 subscribers, I've only gotten like one more subscriber. But, Ghost Pepper is at 200, so if you want to see me and a couple of my friends who are, I guess, dumb enough to actually do it with me, help us get us up to 51 subscribers. But until next time, keep it gnarly.